Welcome to the Next Wave podcast. I am your host, D. Woody, and joining me is my good friend and FPS god, Blake Bizani Jr. himself. Welcome.
Hey everyone, welcome to our journey of podcasting, episode 1.
Yeah, so bear with us. We got the scuffed setup right now. You can see all the crap in my background, and we're just using Discord cams for now, but we'll get a good overlay and make it a little more professional. So
We're gonna look like we actually know what we're doing soon.
yeah. So every podcast starts from the mud.
You think we're gonna be like good at this shit, or are we gonna learn?
We gonna learn.
And are we gonna be like
We gonna learn and then get good.
like Hitchin Maniac with the Flycast once every blue moon, and now they're doing it regularly? You know, we might just be next level and pump these out. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. I'm hoping to make it like a weekly just update on all things gaming and esports that we follow. Just to let y'all know, probably going to be a lot of COD. That's basically our football.
Yeah. If you're here for MOBAs, nope.
Yeah, no MOBAs.
Listen, none of that. No MOBAs, no strategy games.
Yeah.
No puzzles, none of that shit.
Yeah.
The only thing other than FPSs and Rocket League for the most part is going to be solo player, single player campaign games and shit like that.
Yeah, we'll probably touch on those. But yeah, a lot of COD, especially with the season coming up, and we follow Halo pretty regularly, and Rocket League is pretty much our only weird
non-FPS
esport. So yeah. But yeah, we're just going to cover all things gaming and esports. And if you guys don't know us, I would like to hear your journey as a gamer, Blake, because I don't even know if we've ever really talked about this. I'm talking like day one.
Yeah.
Starting from the very first time you picked up a controller. Like, where do you even remember? Like how
I don't know if this counts. To me this counts, but I'm pretty sure the first ever like technically video game that I ever played was a Joy console box, and it was like SpongeBob, and then joystick was his nose.
Bro. Oh
I
my
played
God,
that.
bro.
I would play that. Yeah, I would play that.
It was like the plug and play things. You'd like plug it into the TV.
Dude, I played it in the minivan. Like I would play it in minivan,
God, bro.
I'm pretty sure that might be the earliest game that I can think of that I played. And then, like I'm saying, I guess if that counts. And then Nintendo 64 on my neighbor's, at my neighbor's house. So that was probably like what, 2004 maybe? That's the first console experience that I remember. And it was the game where you're either the T-Rex or the big monkey or the other thing, and it's like the Rampage. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I only remembered it because of the Rock's movie, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, that Rampage movie.
I never saw it, but I remember.
I saw it like in passing in a hotel once, but anyways, that's where it started. I got my first. What did I get first? A PS2.
Okay.
And I was playing like NCAA 07 and Madden and NBA Live 06 type shit on that. And then from there I went to Xbox 360, and I didn't have Live for the longest time, so I was just playing like Gears of War campaigns, Halo campaigns, and stuff like that.
So
and
you
then
took the right path.
I did, but here's where I kind of switch up. A lot of people go from Xbox 360 to PS4. I had a weird journey. I went from Xbox 360 and then to PS3, and this is during MW2, because I got Max on MW2 and then on Xbox.
I need a new console so I can get Max again.
That's not the reason, but I don't remember the reason really. I think I just wanted to make the switch. It was free for online at that point for PlayStation, and so I made the switch. I don't know what other reason other than that. And then was still playing MW2, but got in a modded lobby. Got to max that way on that.
Nice.
And then from PS3 went to PS4. So I followed the route, but I just sprinkled in the PS3 in there. and then PS4 is, or no, I'm sorry, Xbox One. I
Okay.
went from
Damn,
Xbox
you were
One.
back and forth with it.
I went back to the Xbox One for Ghosts, and then uh, Ghosts is where Spencer started playing like COD like that. Like we've always been like pubbers,
Yeah.
and then Ryan
Pubbers.
introduced Tintin. Ryan Tintin introduced Spencer to GBs, and
Okay.
then I played a GB with them. I was running around on Warhawk with a K7 silenced SMG and a throwing
Yeah.
knife and a GB, and I was
Oh
getting
my
roasted.
god, dude.
I had no idea why. And then I followed competitive. Then I got the PS4 for the Black Ops 3 beta. Then, as soon as the beta was over, sold my Xbox One. So during the beta, I played the Xbox One first, and then sold my Xbox One to get a PS4 to play the beta the second weekend,
Oh my
and then kept the
god, dude.
PS4 because it switched to competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And so ever since Ghost, I've been playing GBs and wagers. Started playing Respawn in Black Ops 3, but I was 17, so I couldn't compete. And then IW comes around junior year. I act like I'm 18 throughout the whole year until I actually turn 18 in March.
That's hilarious.
And then went to my first LAN in Dallas. Got top 64 with a pickup team at the door.
Damn.
Was shitting on G2, who at the time was like Spacely, Chino, Accuracy, and Pac-Man, I think, or
Damn.
something like that. And I was shitting on him in the S&D. I dropped like 12 on him in a round 11
Damn,
loss.
yo.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
then now, fast forward throughout the CODs, I competed in throughout IW, competed a little bit in BO4, and I've been on PlayStation ever since. And then now, we've been on PC for the past 3 years,
Yeah.
2.5 years or so.
Since 2020, yeah. About 3 years.
Yeah, exactly 3 years probably. I was playing on a dog shit PC. I was playing the Valorant beta at like 20 FPS.
Jesus.
But now we're
Damn,
here.
dude. What a journey.
Yeah, and forgot to mention, we met in college and formed the Arkansas Call of Duty team, playing on your
CCL.
Xbox to start, and then
Oh
playing
my
on my
god, dude.
my console,
Those were
which
dark
is a good
times.
transition to your gaming
Dude, those were
space.
dark times, bro. I forgot you didn't have a PS4 and had to use my Xbox.
Yeah, so if you're wondering how much of a gamer I am, my parents took it away from me while I was in college because my grades weren't the best. They didn't let
Grown-ass
me
man.
for a semester. I
They
had to
took
get like
it
a 3
away.
something in my semester to get it back, and so I was competing off of Dak's Xbox for the
Damn,
longest time.
man. Do anything to grind. I respect
Yep.
it.
Yep.
But
Like
yeah,
that.
my earliest memory is my dad coming home with the original Xbox, and like whenever that dropped. And I was so young, like I didn't even know what it was, dude. I had no idea. I don't even think I actually started playing it until like a year after he bought it because I was so young.
When was that? What years? Like 2002?
2002 or something, yeah.
Damn, you were
Yeah.
young.
I just
You were
remember
goo goo gaga.
yeah, he had it and would play this like golf game. It was called Outlaws Golf or something. And it was like Blitz the League but golf.
For golf?
Like they would like cuss and say funny
Naked
shit
chicks
and,
down the fairway.
yeah, bro. Like it was
Shit,
like
yeah.
rowdy golf. And that is
That's
the
sick.
earliest memory I have. And then I remember like I had 2 games on it. It was a jet ski game, just jet ski racing. It was called Splashdown. Fire
Kind
game.
of like what you like play at a CC's, like
Yes,
those
bro.
Wave Runner, those boat
Yes,
games.
dude.
Yeah.
That game was fun as hell. And then I had Batman Vengeance, which is like
Oh shit.
it's like 2002 version of Arkham Asylum. And it was so hard I couldn't get past like the second mission. I would just do the first mission, and then when I got to the second mission, it was like Mr. Freeze, and it kind of scared me, and I would just stop playing, and I'd just do the first mission over and over and over. And then, eventually I guess I got more games. I can't really remember, but I eventually went to the Wii when I was like 6.
I had the Wii too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so then I was like a Wii gamer, heavy. Guitar Hero, all the Mario games.
You ever play the Nerf game on Wii where you like it was like Nerf and you would shoot like in like target ranges and
I
like there
don't
was
think
obstacle
so.
courses? Dude, I loved renting that game from Blockbuster and playing it.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, that
Rest in
reminds
peace.
me. I rented Star Wars Battlefront on the OG Xbox, now that I
Oh,
think about it. Back
Dude, the amount of games that I rented, like
Mm-hmm.
I did so much other shit when I was younger that I couldn't validate buying all these games, so I would just rent.
Yeah, yeah. My dad would take me to Blockbuster every weekend. We'd get a movie and sometimes a game. It
Let's
was a
go.
good time. But
Yeah.
yeah, went to the Wii and then got a 360 when I was like in 4th grade, like 9 or 10. And it took a lot of convincing because I would go to my other friend Blake's house and he had Halo 3 and like COD 4. He had like older brothers, so they all had all the cool games.
Dude, that's kind of how I did
Yeah,
too.
dude. And I was like, Mom, I need a 360, like big time. Like the Wii ain't it. And it took months and months, and then eventually on my birthday I got a 360 with Halo 3 and COD 4.
Oh my god.
Dude, played those.
Wow, what a day.
And then months later I was like, wait, I need Xbox Live. So then I got Live and just started playing COD 4. Met my friend Connor, who I'm still friends with. Met him when I was like 9, and we would play GBs, bro. I would get shit on. I just remember playing a shipment game battles at like age 10.
Oh my god.
And I had a Red Tiger MP5 that was probably boosted for it, and I would just get hork slammed. And I was like, yeah, bro, game battles are stupid, bro. Let's not do this.
Dude, I didn't know you were getting into GBs that early.
Dude, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't play GBs again until like late high school.
Damn.
I didn't even know what it was. So yeah, so then I was like COD kid, just pubber like you said, and Halo pretty much up until the 1 came out. Got an Xbox One. Played the 360 for like the next year after having a 1 because I was like the 1. There's like 5 games out. It's not even worth booting up. Eventually went to PS4, just because COD.
Did you have both? Like you had both at the same time, didn't you?
Yeah, so like senior year, all my friends in football had PS4. The only people that got on Xbox were like Elliot and them, and so I was like into COD now because BO3 was whenever I got into competitive COD.
Oh yeah.
I always watched Optic, but it was always for content. It was never for competitive things. And so started getting into competitive COD from watching Nade and Bose's 2v2 Road to 100.
No. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what made me like start watching competitive. And
YouTube, how the fudge you doing? Welcome back to the nature. Goodbye. Remember that clip on fucking Stronghold S&D?
I'll never forget the time where they were like 37-0 and got beat by some dudes on that map with like the house with the big open window and like the snowy cliffs and shit. I forget what that map's called. Bro.
Infection?
Maybe.
Stronghold. No, Stronghold. It's the one I just said. Yeah,
okay,
Stronghold.
Yeah.
With the mid-heady where Optic lost champs?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stronghold.
So, I just remember they got beat on that, and Nade Shot raged so hard, bro. And that's one of the funniest clips from that. But we got sidetracked. But played BO3 for a while, and then went to PS4 because of it, because COD was exclusive on PS4 or whatever. Not exclusive, but competitive was on PS4. Yeah. And then just had a PS4 and an Xbox One and rode that wave up until like 2020. And then I got a PC, and now here we are. It's still kicking somehow. Takes me 20 minutes to load into a Valorant game, but I'm loving it.
We both need to upgrade.
Yeah,
you're upgrading soon though.
Yeah, big time. Shout out Counter-Strike for funding that.
For those listening, Dak pulled a 1,500. You sold it for 1,500.
Tiger Tooth butterfly knife.
For $1,500 now, he's upgrading his PC with it, which is the best flip ever. That's just like free PC upgrade, which is sick.
I appreciate.
But I want to touch before we move on to our topics that we have. I want to touch on our time at Arkansas. So, me and Dak met each other freshman year just through my roommates being friends with his roommates, and so we connected, and then both realized that we both love gaming and esports. And so we connected pretty quick. And then I was competing sophomore year of college in Black Ops 4, missing accounting classes, missing accounting exams to compete at a Dallas LAN in Black Ops 4 out of his apartment.
You were screaming out the frat house sometimes, bro.
Yeah, well, I tried the first couple weeks, and the internet was just terrible with a 60-plus person frat house. So I moved my entire PlayStation setup over to Dak apartment, which is like 3 minutes from the frat house, and scrimmed out of there on also dog shit internet.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And So after that season was over, we go into junior year of college. Me and Dak, you know, we're finally kind of separated from the party crazy college life, and we're really focused on like esports, and we're living together at this point. And I need to scratch my competitive COD itch. We're like, there should be college Call of Duty. We look it up. There's a league. They just had their first season in Black Ops 4. So we jumped on it and started recruiting. What all did you do didn't you put
Yeah,
stuff up
we
around campus?
we had like someone made flyers in the esports club. Well, first of all, you and me went and met with like the president or
Yeah, the
whatever.
president.
The esports club at Arkansas, man. It
Oof.
was just loosely ran.
So loose. I was the
Smashes.
treasurer.
Yeah.
I was the
Yeah,
treasurer
that's
senior year
insane.
and
You
didn't do a
never
thing.
spoke
Not a
to
single
anyone.
thing.
I
Zero.
forgot about that, dude.
Just a resume builder. An
Yeah.
absolute resume builder.
Yeah, it is, damn.
But yeah, so we started recruiting, found a great group of dudes. Literally just had a wedding for one about a year ago, almost to the day. And found a great group of guys, played some COD and MW, went to the playoffs, turned some heads. Cold War, our senior year,
All
probably
fell apart.
one of the most fun. Dak turned coach into player that year, and so we had that to work with. And I mean, honestly, we didn't do too bad for what we had,
Yeah.
and we really started getting a lot better with like 2 games left in the season when our hopes
Yeah.
were gone. So, but yeah, so that's a little stint in our also competitive COD career, I guess. But nonetheless, we want to talk about some more COD, which is what this podcast is about. So before we jump into the MW3 beta, it's time to reflect on the big pile of doo doo that was MW doo doo.
Dude.
MW2. Final thoughts of the game deck.
I wasn't gonna buy it, and then of course every year I'll watch CDL for an entire weekend, and I'm like, damn, I need to play Call of Duty right now.
Mm-hmm.
And against my better judgment, I bought MW2 right as Ranked came out, and played for 2 weeks and regretted everything, dude.
They
Just
get you.
top to bottom, game sucked. Movement was clunky. You had to dolphin dive around everywhere. Freaking snaking was ridiculous. No red dots on the mini map. I just hated it. I hated it. It's horrible, dude.
I agree.
Does not give a shit about competitive. They don't care about us at all. And frankly, I'm sick of their games.
Yeah.
Pubs weren't even fun on that game, dude.
I miss old engines. I'm kind of like, this new engine feels really responsive and it looks great, but like it just feels like a different game sometimes. And I miss like the old Treyarchy, more, classic
like stiff
arcade
movement.
engines. Yeah, MW2. So I kind of grinded it at a certain point. Whenever the first ranked season dropped, I hit Crimson 3 and just stopped. I ran into cheaters. And also, dog shit thing about this game is the cheaters were insane. Sound EQ, trash, stupid. Never turned it on, never used it because I'm just didn't want to. It was still smoking idiots using it. Other than the ranked system, that was literally the only good thing about this game is the competent rank system. Other than that, no dead silence baffles me. Even also with sound EQ, red dots off the minimap. Overall, we're gonna absolutely forget that MW2 happened. But congratulations to the New York Subliners on a championship. They absolutely dominated the MW2 season. Hydra's the craziest player ever. Did you see another great segue? Did you see his MW3 beta clip that I think the Subliners posted? No. It was his like mechanics and aim is so weird because it's like you spectate people with like crazy movement and then you spectate people with like a really good shot, and like the combination of the two is usually you digress in one area or the other, and his is like sliding around. Like he doesn't even have to center on anything. He can come around a corner and just react and shit on you, and he does not have to center. So when he is centering you, he is unkillable. Like he is just insane. You know those YY movement kid clips where people are just going insane? His movement looks like that without the YY camera shake. It's just weird.
Yeah, dude. I think people like him and Shotzi are gonna be nuts on this.
So good on this game. Yeah. So good. So looking ahead, we just got done with the MW3 beta, obviously. Um, First off, best gun in the game.
Striker. Easy.
Yep.
Easily.
Hands down, the best gun in the game. I was gunning people with MCWs, BAS-Bs, snipers. You could literally gun anyone at any range with it. They did nerf it right before the
They
PC
said
beta
that. It was
started,
still frying, dude.
but it still is the best gun in the game. Do you think it's going to get GA'd?
I don't know yet because I think we got to see what all the other guns are like. We only
That is
got like
true.
a few guns for each category, so I don't know. But I think there needs to be a better AR if they're not going to use battle rifles because the BAS-B was
So fun.
way stronger than the
So good.
MCW. And
Yeah, I think it was definitely slept on.
yeah, dude. And if you get in a gunfight with someone and you have an MCW, they have a striker, you're not winning. It doesn't matter how far
Exactly.
away you are. I thought it was kind of weak.
I think Haggy said this on the flank, so shout out Parasite and the flank boys. He said he thinks that the CDL players jump to GAing really quickly and should like let it play out a little bit, and that the reason that something should be GA'd like pretty quickly is if there's 4 of them on the map for each
Yeah.
team. Like if there's 4 of them, then obviously something needs to be done. But yeah, but overall, MW3 beta, I had a great time. They did include some shitty maps. A lot of the maps do feel a lot different. Mostly Favela, in my opinion, felt the most different from the OG days to what we just played. I think the movement and the overall change in recoil and the ability to shoot straight it didn't benefit that map very much.
Yeah. And being able to mantle things easier, I feel like people could
Yeah.
just get up top hella quick.
Right.
From different places than just running into the building.
Especially with the mantle gear on.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. But yeah, going into the CDL 2023 season, after playing the beta, who last year do you think is going to have a more breakout or unexpected season?
Team-wise?
No, individual player-wise. Then we'll get into the teams.
I think Simp will be back in form this year, bro.
Dude, that is who I had in my
Yeah.
head asking you that question.
Yeah, dude. I think
My second
we're
on-
going to see a Simp year for sure.
Yeah, I agree. You go back to the last game on this engine with this movement, you look at MW 2019, right?
Mhm.
The closest thing to that would be Vanguard. Well, I guess yeah, it would be Vanguard, but that's not the comparison I was trying to make. When you look at a game that had a good sub, that had more fluid movement, and with the right types of perk setup and stuff, MW 2019 Simp was a beast.
Yeah.
And not to mention perma dead silence is going to help him make plays on the map.
Mhm.
Alongside of BZ. Like overall, I feel like being loud is something that does not benefit him as an S&D player. So him going back to his old S&D roots with Dead Silence is going to help a lot. But the second player on that list, I think that's going to have a good season and maybe break out a little bit, is Joe Deceives.
Okay. Young Joe.
Yeah.
And he's on the
I think
Thieves
he's going to be
now
good.
with Cammy, Ghosty, and Afro.
Yep.
They might
think that's right.
They might be.
Yeah.
They might be one of those teams that could have a good weekend.
They're the top 6. I think them and
Yeah.
Breach are those last 2 to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm looking forward to seeing Breach with Priesta and Slasher back
yeah,
together.
me too.
Yeah,
I think Snoopy's going to have a good year as well. I
Mhm.
think he's going to have the right. I hope they don't try to like rein him in too much. I hope Austin doesn't try to or Slasher, using a first name like I'm on the flank. I think Slasher is a great leader as long as he still lets him be that crazy talented,
Yeah.
sub that he is.
Yeah.
Because you see whenever you try to implement a system with these new upcoming players that prevents them from their ceiling, you can see it deteriorate and not work out well. So I hope they let them do their thing and make him disciplined in the right
Mm-hmm.
moments.
Do you think some of the older dudes try to play too by the book? And I feel like nowadays you kind of have to let people just make crazy ass plays if you want to win sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely think there is that, and I think I'm victim of that myself too, because there's this old ideology that was there from probably Black Ops 2 to World War 2, or World War BO4, of this rotation not only of hill to hill but player to player within the hill. It's like you have someone in hill, someone watching the deep back spawn, looking over kind of the the overextended part of the map. You've got someone with a tight angle on hill watching what would be like the main or front entrance, and then someone else watching the more middle of the map, kind of front of the hill type thing. And that's really how it works. As soon as the person is in hill that dies, the person in the back pushes to the hill, gets the time, and hopefully that timing works out for you. The other person spawns in the back, and now they're holding the back.
Yeah.
There was a system in place that made sense. And with these squad spawns, with that 5v5 transition for 2 games, and with overall this new movement, and just overall capability to have takeover performances, I think that you're exactly right. There might be a little bit of old headism in the league with some of those players.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them are starting to realize it. And
yeah, especially with squad spawns, right? Like, it's like, okay, my team's rotated. There's 5 seconds left on rotation. I know I can hold my kill cam, and the new hill will be popped. I'm going to make a rogue, try to get a 2-piece on rotation near ult or something, right? Yeah. While all 3 of them are rotated, and you're going to spawn up right with your team.
Yeah.
Like, so
yeah, it is a whole different game. But I am looking forward to the season. I think the movement and the kill time being longer is just going to make for crazy outplays and like turn-ons and just more
straight shooters are going to thrive. Another reason I think Simple do well is he has a amazing shot for some machine gun, and he can pick up any weapon and sniper, like, and snipers in this game already look insanely overpowered. He is the sniper for that team, unless for some reason gives it to Celium, which I can see depending on their strategy heading in. But nonetheless, last thing to touch on for CDL 2023, Optic. Our home team. We're gonna be biased on this show. I'm gonna be realistic yet biased, especially before the season's even started. Right? I think that they have no fucking reason to not make a grand final, not make a top 4. You know, obviously, you look at the other 3 teams up there in the top 4. They're really fucking good, dude.
Yeah. Like,
the talent is there now in the CDL. Like, everyone's finding those up and coming players. You've got Scrappy, Hydra, and now Draza in the trio on FaZe. Like, those are 3 crazy teams to deal with. They should make top 4 every event.
Yeah.
And if anything, and if they're on, then they should win the event, right? So that's literally my expectation. I know it's hard. It's the CDL and it's crazy right now, but that's my expectation. Top 4 every event. Anything worse is team change.
No.
I'm on Reddit.
Yeah, no. I agree. They should be top 4 every week, or every major, but team change is wild. I know you're.
No, I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
But no, with Pred and Shotzi and freaking Dashy, with Kenny's brains, there's no reason that they should not. They need to win 2 majors. Honestly, bro. They should win 2 tourneys. It's gonna be tough with Ultra upgrading from Hixie to Envoy. That's kind of scary.
That's very scary. Did you see Hixie and Banster on a Challengers team together?
I did. I saw it was them, Nasty, and another EU guy. That's I forget who.
He was already it was
I thought it was someone that was in the CDL or was high up in Challengers. It was a known name.
It was high up in Challengers. It was a known name. It was like one of those Spanish guys, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I forget. I'm not really worried about Challenger rosters because they'll be different after the first week.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of Optic not living up to their potential, another great transition into Halo champs. Optic comes in second, losing to FaZe. We said this while we were watching it. You mentioned it a ton. FaZe just wanted it more. They put in more work. We saw the scrim map count that someone somehow had, and they had like 60 more maps played than the second team on the list or something, right?
Yeah, so I'll look for the tweet, but I'm pretty sure they were like 144-0 in scrims leading up to this or some shit like that. Like crazy.
I did not know.
And
oh my
Optic
god.
only played like half those scrims. Like Optic only played half that amount of scrims.
That's insane.
And FaZe, I sent that into our group chat and I was like, do you guys think this is like gonna hinder them? Like they're just shitting on people and they're like 144-0. Like, do you think they'll be too confident or have like no adversity to, overcome any mistakes that they make or anything because they're just shitting on people.
Yeah,
But,
and then we were watching, and to be fair, up until the third map of the first series of the grand final, Optic looked fucking awesome.
Mhm.
Like they had some great comebacks. They had just moments where they were just looking way better than every other team at the venue, and even in those first two maps of the grand final, they just clutched up and had more ice than
Yeah.
FaZe, and then just completely vanished after that. They started getting trip capped. They started getting 100 to 40 in an oddball round. Like
Mhm.
they were getting smoked. And I actually have pulled up here the final stats from the grand final.
Mm.
Guess what the lowest KD is?
Shit. APG 0.78.
Well, I'll tell you this. You guessed the player correctly.
Yeah.
It is APG with a 0.66.
Oh, damn.
The highest on Optic is Lucid with a 1.0.
Yeah.
Formal with a 0.85 and Trippy with a 0.81.
Yeah.
And then you look at the other side, Royal 2 with a 1.28 and Renegade with a 1.33.
Yeah, bro. They took over, bro. They really did. Halo's so tough too because once a team like FaZe gets control of the map and all the power weapons and shit, and Optic's just stuck in their spawn, like it's so hard to get out.
Don't matter how talented or how good you
Yeah,
are,
dude.
like you're losing,
Yeah.
especially when they're in their groove. But Champs looked dope. The crowd was loud. It wasn't the biggest venue, but it looked full
Mhm.
because they probably sold it out.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that tournament was a W for the Halo scene. The recent update on Halo was a W, and I'm interested to see what Optic does going forward. Because
Yeah. And next season's gonna be so different. I mean, I say so different,
with the
but
Bandit
the
start,
Bandit starts is gonna be different. Some people might
maps
fall
probably.
off, bro. Some people might
think
be
there's-
ass with the Bandit and fall off. I don't know.
I think HCS said that there's going to be a couple new maps into the rotation as well. I might be spitting that out my ass,
No, I
but
can
I
see that.
think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that going
I say it's
forward.
gonna be interesting. We know who the top 3 teams are gonna be.
Yeah.
You know,
What if this Bandit update just completely elevates like
Dude,
native?
that would
I
be
don't remember
sick.
which
I
one's
think
better. I think Native
Quadrant.
Red
I
is
think
better, right?
Quadrant is a team that could be really good. Yeah, Native Red is the better native team.
Okay.
And then
Is that the Tolic team?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, like Quadrant Sentinels obviously is like usually that 4th place team this year, anyways, with Lethal and Spartan in them.
Yeah.
So
They played good.
I think it'll be about the same. I think it just sucks because Optic played well. They beat Sentinels 3-0. They beat FaZe 3-2. They beat Space Station 3-2, and then got to grand finals and went
Reverse
up 2-0,
swept,
and
too.
then, yeah, and then just ran out of steam and just got smacked for 8 straight maps.
Like they were
So-
playing well, dude. Like reverse sweeping SSG is not
Yeah.
easy, and
Yeah.
they fucking did it. And like they were hyped, the passion, the energy was there, and they
Yeah.
just ran out of gas.
No, they
it
literally
seemed like
had the gauntlet run for a bracket. They had to play Sentinels, SSG, and FaZe.
Yep.
And beat all 3 of them, and then lost to FaZe again.
to be the best, you got to beat the best, man.
Yeah,
Age
man.
old saying.
It's tough, but at least we've seen Formal win one, and we
Yeah.
always have next year if they, assuming that they all still have that passion and want to play that much, because I feel like these top teams play so much, dude. Like it's a grind. Like you don't hear from Formal for 6 months.
No, not at all. And our last topic here, I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one.
Ah, God.
But Rocket League trading is going away.
Yeah. So for all of my fellow skin enthusiasts and car ball lovers, Rocket League trading is gone December 5th. And for those of you that don't play Rocket League, it used to, back when I started in high school, which was like 2016, it had crates like CS. You'd buy keys, you'd open the crate up, and it would spin just like CS, and you would try to get black market decals and painted white wheels, and they were all super valuable. Like if you got titanium white Zombas, they were like almost $200 at one point, resale like on the market. Trading was huge. It made a giant community. People like John Sandman, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, his whole channel was just around Rocket League trading. There's a ton of trading content creators. And it was like one of the main focal points of the game. And then Epic buys Rocket League and says, we're putting an item shop in the game, and blueprints, which are basically is just an item that you get, and it says this is a titanium white wheel, pay this many credits to buy it. So now you can buy titanium white Zombas at 700 credits when they're actually worth 20,000 back in the day before crates went away. So yeah, they took crates away, and then we've been living this way for years now, where there's an item shop and you can still trade. And we get the lovely announcement last week that starting December 5th, trading in Rocket League is gone because they want to adhere to Epic's vision for the item shop and in-game cosmetics. As you can imagine, the Rocket League community did not take this news well at all. Pretty much any pro and Rocket League content creator had something to say about it on Twitter negatively. If you go to the thread, there's not a single positive comment in the thread. There's thousands of responses. It's probably gonna ruin certain YouTubers' careers now. A lot of people are gonna leave because trading is a huge part of the casual side of Rocket League. Some people only get on just to trade items, and because they have valuable items, and now all that is gone out the window. And there's honestly, I don't see a positive thing to come out of this unless they are actually just taking trading out because they're going to switch over to Unreal Engine 5 and, you know, maybe it'd just be smoother to not have trading in the game for that. But that's a rumor, and they've never communicated that with us, so it's probably just a freaking dream at this point. And
pipe dream.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible. I can't believe it's happening. I got super into trading last year. Started, trading up with people on the RL Garage, which that website has no use now. Get that out of here. It's basically just a marketplace where people can sell their items and hit other people up. But yeah, I mean, all that is out the window. Thousands of people will stop playing the game. Any cool items you have that were worth a lot of money are going to be worthless now unless you sell your entire account, which is probably illegal, against Epic's terms of service or whatever.
Yeah, as a noob, this didn't really affect me that much. I have everything in my garage is either random unlocks from leveling up, or you've traded it to me.
Yeah.
We've taken full advantage of that system to drip me out. So I didn't really understand the catastrophic impact that this would have on the Rocket League community until you sent me a couple tweets. I read some tweets. I saw your reaction, other people's reaction. I was like, oh, dang, this is like CS turning to Valorant, like in terms of marketplace.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. Yeah, that doesn't sound very cool, because like as a noob, I hopped on and immediately got cool stuff from you via trading that made me want to get back on the game.
Exactly.
And
now they're going to just make you buy stuff. Yeah. So I think it's one of the most tone deaf, dumbest decisions I've ever seen a developer make. I'm not even kidding. They are evil, corrupt idiots that do not play their own game, obviously.
I don't know, bro. Activision took out Red Dots and fucking
it's worse than that, and I thought that was like one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen. So it's like it's just mind blowing, dude. And they've given us no communication at all about it. They just said they didn't say anything. They just haven't said anything. Their tweets since the trade being gone announcement is Halloween time, get ready to buy this Halloween pack. Oh, football's back in the game. The NFL pack is now in the item shop.
Iron.
And literally the whole entire comment section on those posts is F you, why are you taking trading away? F you, this. People are pissed, and they're just completely radio silent, don't care. They put on the patch notes today, Now when you trade, an alert will come up and say, are you sure you want to trade? Trading goes away December 5th. It's like they didn't even give us a trading
big
is
change.
gone, but here's our plans for the future. They were just like, fuck you, trading's gone. Deal with it.
Yeah, that's a huge change.
Yeah, dude.
I'm interested to see if anything comes out of the new way they're gonna have it, in terms of like things becoming more rare. Like maybe they only release certain things during an event, like some Fortnite skins like are insanely rare because like you could only get it during this event. So like obviously the overwhelming opinion is this is dog shit, and it is. It's terrible. But I'm interested to see if there's any sort of uniqueness going forward with the new shop.
If they take trading out and keep everything as it is right now, I'm gonna be pissed. Like at least my hopes is maybe it'll be more like the Fortnite shop where it's more of like a catalog and there's like a lot more items on there than just the 2 main items and then like 4
which is hopeful.
Yeah.
It's epic. Like that's a hopeful outcome.
Yeah, and maybe more freedom to buy certain items you want because there's more available to you in the shop or something. I don't know, but regardless, whatever they do, taking trading out is not the right move.
Yeah.
It pissed a lot of people off. John Sandman, who is the leader of the Rocket League trading world, said he's done with the game. There's no reason for him to get on anymore.
That speaks volumes.
You just hate to see it, dude. You really hate to see it. Now, if you see a pro player rocking something that you don't have, probably going to have to wait for it to come in the item shop, or it may never come in the item shop, and there's no way to get it because you can't trade for it. So,
yeah,
it's tough all the way around.
Damn.
It's
you hate to see it.
It's Infinity Ward level bad move.
Yeah, might be worse.
It's like they
might be worse.
do not play their own game, or even are in touch with the community that plays their game. It's
none.
It's horrible. So
we need to increase the PR work over there at Epic for Psionics stuff.
So
but yeah, that kind of concludes our show here. Thank you guys for joining us on the first episode of the Next Wave podcast. Like we said in the beginning, it's going to be a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of first-person shooters. Valorant is in the off season right now, but I love watching Valorant competitive, so we'll be covering some of that as well, and everything FPS, Rocket League, first-person RPGs game. Stay tuned. If you're a diehard gamer and love everything esports, stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Deuces.